as you adjust to what we now know to be a very new normal for the world. Tamia Dawkins here, super excited to be able to have you to join me again. And if this is your very first time joining my channel, I would love to invite you to go ahead and subscribe. On my channel, you will find all things connected to living the intentional lady life so that you can live a life that I know that you'll absolutely love. In today's video, we're going to be talking about something that I believe we can all definitely connect to, and that is dealing with our time of being in quarantine. Now, at about this time this video is being aired, we have all as a world, as a nation, in the United States of America, we've been dealing with quarantine for probably about 3 weeks, in that we've known about COVID and its details and have been told to stay home by our local commissioners and governors literally for the past 3 weeks. And so, being a productive lady, I wanted to go ahead and share with you 10 ways that I believe that you can absolutely remain productive as you adjust to what we now know to be a very new normal for the world. Productivity is known as the state or quality of producing something, and it's also known as the effectiveness of productive effort, basically putting your best foot forward. And I don't know about you, but I do believe that as we spend this time within our homes, that it is important for us to remain productive like never before. And I think if you are in a space or in a place within your life where you did not have productivity habits within your life, now is the time to start. Us being literally locked up within our houses, only allowed to go to the essential places like the supermarket or to the hospital, God forbid, this is the time that we can definitely use to be able to really create new habits within our lives. And so I'm going to share with you just quickly 10 tips that will help you to remain productive during this time. You know, the more that I think about just the state of the world and different things that we are going through as a people, I think that I really wanted to hone in. First, I want you to take time to really think. I think that us being stuck within our houses, not having the ability to go out except for to really visit essential places because of the stay-at-home orders that have been placed on each state, really gives us time to be able to really sit with our thoughts. And so there are two parts to that particular tip in terms of you sitting with your thoughts or taking time to think. On one end, if you're not careful, you can really slip into a point of consistent depression, being in the state that we are all finding ourselves in. And I think that has happened, and most oftentimes does happen with people, because of the fact that we were literally snatched out of what we knew to be normal into a totally different normal. Like, we didn't even have time to say no, thank you. But literally everyone was snatched from maybe their regular way of doing life to now this new normal, like all at the same time. And I think that a lot of people are needing just time to be able to consistently process through what is going on. I know, just to be transparent and personal, at the beginning of this, I would wake up and say, oh my goodness, is this like literally going on within my mind? I would say that to myself because it almost felt like it was a dream, you know? And so you almost wish that you can go ahead and go to sleep and wake up and get a do-over. Like, is this really going on? But then at the same time, for me being a Christian, I believe that the Bible is very clear about perilous times, or either what we know to be the last days. And so for some people that might sound like a damper, but for someone like me who believes in God, I believe that God has really given us an opportunity to sit with our thoughts without us putting our 2 cents into what we think about what is going on. We have absolutely no control whatsoever. So I can definitely sense and feel that there is a realignment that is really happening with us as people. We're getting back to the basics of what it is that we really should be paying attention to within our day-to-day lives. That is family. That is being able to kind of slow down rather than just doing stuff so fast on a consistent basis where life just kind of flies past us. But we're all literally being forced to have to sit with our thoughts, to have to sit with what it is that we're currently doing within our lives. And so as much as this whole situation appears to be very much so crazy, at the same time, I'm seeing it from a different perspective as an opportunity that has been given to us by God to be able to recalibrate incorporate our lifestyles and way of thinking. And so my second tip is going to be to have you to really be focusing on your self-care during this time of dealing with COVID and quarantine. And so I find, like I mentioned in tip 1, that a lot of people are dealing with some real mental issues. You know, some people feel like they're breaking down. Some people feel like, oh my goodness, I don't have any control. But if you stay in the same habit of making sure that you're caring for yourself in the smallest ways that maybe you have forsaken before, you'll find yourself being able to just consistently go on. So in the morning when you get up, you want to make sure that you're washing your face, brushing your teeth, putting on something fresh besides just sitting in your pajamas all day long. And so I know what I'm talking about, because as a stay-at-home mom for the past 8 years of my life, and then having had homeschool my boys for a while before this homeschooling opportunity came into effect for the USA, literally, I always made it a point to make sure that I put on something decent, even though I may have not been going out of the house to run errands. And so what that did for me was, one, it conditioned my mind to understand that, hey, this is a fresh new day, and if I want to be productive, I have to make sure that I'm letting Tamia know by washing my face, or by brushing my teeth, or putting on something pretty, a little lip gloss, you know, a little bit of foundation, resetting myself basically, and letting myself know that I was going to go ahead and take this day by storm. So I really want to encourage you that if you really don't want to slip into a place of depression, I mean, like literally sitting on the couch watching the news, it's important that you don't sit within that quote unquote space all the time, but that you literally take a break, that you literally take a breath, so that you don't get so overwhelmed with what is going on in the world to the point where it completely makes you depressed. Now, I want to put a disclaimer out there that if you are a part of the front line, or if you are the type of person that is strong enough to find yourself consistently in this fight, helping people to get better, or if you are an essential worker, then definitely you have to be at the forefront of what is going on. But if you are not in the forefront, the best thing that you can do for yourself and for your family is to take care of you and really be in the best shape and health in terms of your self-care, so that you can be a light to different people that are going through in ways that we cannot even imagine. And so I really want you to be encouraged to make sure that you're taking care of yourself at this time. Now, this next tip is really going to encourage you to really finish some of the tasks that you put off, the undone tasks within your life, the things that you said you were going to do that you never got a chance to do, like that closet that has been looking at you for maybe the past 5 years that you've been saying that you're going to clean out, that you never got the chance to clean out. Just reset different areas of your life, so that when we come out of this thing, there can be different things that maybe were not in order within your life that can be in order. You'll find yourself ahead of the curve and totally refreshed as we come into this new season after this particular storm that we're all dealing with. My fourth tip is, I want you to go ahead and find a DIY project that you can do within your house. And so the one thing that I've been thinking about doing, because of the fact that I can't get it done by other people, is I want to go ahead and finish painting my house. Now, this has been an ongoing project for literally the past 3 years that my family and I have lived in our house that we purchased some time ago. And so I'm like, hey, I got all these walls in here. I know that I can definitely do the painting. So I had challenged myself to really look into finally getting the paint sent here and just taking the time to go ahead and paint. And really, now I think when it comes to something like doing a DIY project that entails painting, it can be pretty relaxing. You know, your arms might be tired, but it's a great workout. So that's one of the things that I'll definitely be tackling within my time within quarantine. And I want to encourage you to go ahead and hop on YouTube or on Pinterest and find a DIY project that you can do. Another thing that I've been doing that could kind of be deemed as a DIY project is I've literally been taking photos of my family just in the most random moments within this time of quarantine, because I want to go ahead and put together a photo album that really highlights just our time of going through something that we've never experienced before within our lifetime. And so for my little ones, I know that they've been kind of wondering about what exactly is going on, but I want to be able to create some kind of memorabilia, even though it's not the happiest time. But I think that there has been so many things within us as a family and as individuals that has shifted in this, this time that we've never seen before, that I definitely wanted to capture. And so just even having the opportunity to be around my loved ones at this time, healthy and well, by the grace of God, that is something I think that I definitely want to hold on to and capture. And so I want to encourage you to definitely get that DIY project done. Now, my fifth tip is to get you to start a garden. Go ahead and make it happen. I know so many different people that have said that they wanted to start a garden. Now, you don't have to think about anything elaborate, especially if you don't necessarily have a backyard, but you definitely want to maybe possibly look into certain kind of herbs or certain kind of seeds that you can plant maybe within your kitchen and like a little indoor garden type of setup. And so you can definitely look into that stuff because of the fact that you're slowing down and you're doing something that is going to be able to maybe feed you from a nutritional standpoint, or either something that is going to help you to really just calm yourself down while just so many crazy things appear to be going on. Number 7 is for you to go ahead and create a productivity playlist. Now, this is not something that I thought about doing, but I did hear someone mention this on the YouTube platform, and I was like, hey, that's a really good idea. And so I know sometimes we have different songs that kind of motivate us, or different songs that kind of calm us down. I know for me, there's a playlist that I follow on the YouTube platform, like when I want to be in that meditation kind of prayerful state. It really just helps to get me to that place where I can read my Bible. And so what I want you to do is create a productivity playlist. Whether you do it on the YouTube platform, just make sure that you create playlists that can feed to the emotions that you basically want to feel. So if you want to have a playlist for the morning as soon as you get up, maybe something that helps you to become awakened, or if you want to do like a wind down playlist like I mentioned, in terms of you just kind of calming down, maybe within the bathtub with some essential oils going and some Epsom salt. It all depends on the atmosphere that you're trying to create, but I think it's a great idea to create a music productivity playlist. Now, my number 8 tip when it comes to having productivity being your main squeeze while we're all literally dealing with quarantine because of COVID is to meditate and to pray. Now, I know that at this time where it appears that no man in the earth has the answers for all of the issues that we're dealing with, I've noticed that people have a more heightened awareness of spiritual things. And so I want to encourage you to really talk to the God that has created you, the God that has you, the God that has literally the whole world in his hands. And so, praying first might be something that's weird, maybe something that you've never even consciously done, but now is the time to really just sit down and begin to talk to the God that created you. So I really want to encourage you just to take time, whether you do it in your bathroom or whether you have a prayer closet or right before you go to sleep, or especially when you wake up in the morning, to really take a few moments to talk to God. Another thing that I wanted to pull out is just that point of meditation. Meditating is just simply sitting with your thoughts. Kind of goes back to my number 1 tip when it comes to really just thinking, really just sitting with your thoughts. And I think that this is so important because while we do this exercise, we really have the opportunity to be able to capture some of the negative things that really try to take root within our minds. And so if we really sit with our thoughts, then we can kind of monitor those thoughts a little better and then work into this state of reconditioning our thinking through our prayer time or journaling time or whatever else it is that helps us to become more healthy within our mind. And so if you've never done it before, in quarantine, dealing with COVID, the world needs your prayers. And so I want to encourage you to definitely learn how to meditate and pray. And if you already got that covered, definitely turn it up, because there are so many people within the world that need your prayers. Now, number 9 might sound like a cliche, but I really want you to spend time with yourself. And so me being in a house full of people, it's almost impossible sometimes for me to just sit with myself. But what I'll do is I'll still a couple of moments to go in the bathroom, or rather than trying to wake up and get all the things done, I'll spend a little bit more time putting on my foundation, or maybe picking out an outfit so that I have a fresher look in the house during quarantine. Whatever that looks like to you, I want you just to take time to spend by yourself. Now, I want to also say as a disclaimer that if you are a single person that's living by yourself, obviously you have a lot of time. So I want you to do the opposite. I want you to create moments where you have time to spend with other people. And though I know that we're socially distancing at this time, which is the smartest thing to do, and we're staying home, you can definitely utilize the Zoom platform right now to connect to people that you love. One thing that I'm thinking about doing that you can take as an idea as well is that I found out that there is, I believe it's an app on the Google App Store, the Google Play App Store, and it helps for you to be able to connect with your friends to watch a Netflix movie. So that's something that I either wanted to do with the women at our church, or either I wanted to go ahead and grab maybe one girlfriend in particular that I can think of at this particular point to watch this Netflix movie. And so this particular app gives you the ability to be able to type in like a comment box while the movie is going on. And the moment I saw it, I'm like, this is going to be so much fun. Another tip that I have that's connected to the Zoom platform, which is a conferencing webinar kind of platform, is trying to see if you can get a couple of girlfriends together so that you guys can do like a weekly meetup. And so once again, if you are in a house full of people like me all the time, then you want to be spending time to yourself every now and again so that you can just refresh yourself. But if you're living by yourself, then you want to go ahead and connect with people so that you don't get so isolated, which is really not healthy for us as human beings anyway. My next tip is to get you to learn a new skill. Now is the time to learn the things that maybe you've been wondering about before. And literally, whatever it is that you want to learn, you can find on the World Wide Web. So go ahead and do a Google search so that you can try to figure out how to crochet or how to create maybe the book that you've been really wanting to write. Literally, you can find anything that you want on the internet. So go ahead and productively utilize this time of being in quarantine to come out with some new skills so that either it can push you towards making some more money or being able to complete some of the things that you've always been dreaming of doing. So I hope that all of these tips that I share with you really help you during this time. I know that social media, I mean, all the platforms have become something that has been so essential for those of us that are home during this time. And so I really wanted to just produce a video that would help you to come out better than when you went in terms of this whole quarantine thing. And so I also want to let you know that there are people around the world like myself that are definitely praying for each and every one of you. And so I know that there are those of you out there that are doing the same for people like my family and other people around the world. And I think if we keep that positive energy going, we'll come out on top. Absolutely. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Do me a favor, follow me on my social media platforms on Instagram at Lady Tamia Dawkins. And I'm super excited once again to have had you join me. You guys stay safe and we'll connect soon. Ciao.